this is another example of imagery and word choice being used to help convey the events that occurred. This example of verisimilitude allows readers to visualize the pictures of Deer's mind while he's having the dream. With this example of verisimilitude, Capote uses imagery in order to recreate a setting and appearance of the Carter family in their caskets. He was not present in this moment, but his descriptions of the events make it seem as if he was. Capote uses verisimilitude similar here to how he did with Nancy's diary. He recreates a conversation that Nancy has with her friend. While this is a normal example of verisimilitude, like the ones earlier, I think it's significant how Capote structures the sentence. It reads almost like how you would, like a thought would read. In the sentences before this excerpt, Capote describes Nancy's diary's physical appearance, and also he describes some of the entries that were in the diary. Within this excerpt, he imagines the thought process of Nancy while she's writing her diary and the questions that she eventually posed to herself. He's almost like creating reasoning for the decisions she made in her writing. Right, this is an example of verisimilitude because Perry is contemplating in his mind his true intentions for deciding to join Dick's big score. This is an example as Capote attempts to analyze the thoughts of Perry. I believe this was another attempt for Capote to attempt to build sympathy towards Perry and change readers' perceptions of him.
Hello everyone. So for my part, I am going to be moving along to parts 3 and 4 and explain examples of verisimilitude in it. Okay, so my first example is the cats, and I will show you a picture of it right now. The quote that I use for cats can be found on page 264. The cats, for example, the two thin gray toms who appeared with every twilight and prowled the square, stopping to examine the cars parked around its periphery. Behavior puzzling to Perry until Miss Meyer explained that the cats were hunting for dead birds caught in the vehicle's engine grills. Therefore, it pained him to watch their maneuvers. Because most of my life, I've done what they're doing, the equivalent. The cats are used as an analogous symbol of Dick and Perry. The two have always lived on the outskirts of town and seen as thin, dirty strays that are untamable. Okay, moving along on the rope, we're moving to Miss Meyer's relationship with Perry. There could be many quotes that kind of epitomize this relationship between Miss Meyer and Perry, but I chose the one on page 308. I heard him crying. I turned on the radio not to hear him, but I could, crying like a child. He never broke down before, showed any sign of it. Well, I went to him, the door of his cell. He reached out his hand. He wanted me to hold his hand, and I did. I held his hand. So this quote shows verisimilitude because the relationship between Miss Meyer and Perry were fabricated by Capote, and because Perry was so deprived of this human affection, he might have interpreted the relationship differently and deeper than Miss Meyer did. Next on our list, I have the 13 steps of the courtroom. This quote is found on page 265. It's Perry talking to himself. His crime was unforgivable, and he fully expected to climb those 13 steps. This number motif by Capote shows verisimilitude because it signifies the test, suffering, and death that is implied by the number 13. Okay, so also moving along, we have our next one, which is Dewey and Sue meeting. This quote is found on page 343. As she disappeared down the path, a pretty girl in a hurry, her smooth hair swinging, shining, just such a young woman as Nancy might have been. Then, starting home, he walked towards the trees, and under them, leaving behind him the big sky, the whisper of wind voices and the wind-beat wheat. This verisimilitude is used by Capote to wrap up the novel with the way it started, imagery of the fields of Holcomb. Adding in this meaning also provides closure for the audience. Finally, we're moving on to the reign of the day of their execution. Okay, and this quote is found on page 338. The sudden rain wrapped the high warehouse roof. The sound, not unlike the rat-a-tat-tat of parade drums, heralded Hickok's arrival. This is verisimilitude because Capote chooses rain to add to an eerie mood that already comes along with their execution day. Okay, thank you for watching. I was gonna explain the poster a little bit. So here is Perry and Dick, and then we have a picture. Alright, thank you for watching, and I was gonna go along the string of the poster just really fast. We have Dick, Perry, Willie J, Miss Meyer. We have the drums, Al Dewey, a map of Holcomb. We have a picture of Bobby and Rope. We have the picture of Nancy in her bedroom, a diary of Nancy's, 13 steps, a picture of them on the day of their funeral. We have the cats right here, and then obviously we have the clutters over here. Thank you for watching!